The latest film in the MonsterVerse, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, has dropped in theaters. I was able to see it last night, so here are my thoughts on it. Hi, my name is Nathan, and I talk about a bunch of movies on this channel. If you're new here, down below in the comment section, share what you thought of Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire over on my channel. I have more content like this. Check those out once this video is over. And if you're a fan of the MonsterVerse or whatever, share down below in the comment section. Just share what you think of this franchise in general. Love to hear that down below. And click the like button and be sure to subscribe because that really does help a lot. And with that said, let's just get started talking about the good. And when it comes to Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, what this movie does best is that it fully embraces what the MonsterVerse is really good at doing. In which case, the previous 4 films in the franchise were so good at delivering big, gigantic CGI spectacle, massive action sequences, high body count destructions. And this movie has all of the CGI destruction and monster fights that you want, while also delivering a bunch of ridiculousness when it comes to the actual story, scenes, even some of the dialogue. It just embraces fully the ridiculousness that comes with a fanfiction-y premise about Godzilla and Kong with a bunch of other monsters teaming up to fight a bunch of monsters. Which, yes, that does sound a little bit fanfiction-y, but it just embraces all of it, gives it a big budget, really drops it in theaters, and when it does come to the monster action, this is a film that I think is worth seeing on a large screen. The monster action, if you had told me that this movie was directed by Michael Bay because of how it just goes for it with everything, I would have probably believed you. So this movie has more action, more ridiculous sequences, more CGI. Like, it just kind of goes for it. And while having all the ridiculousness of the previous films in this franchise, it also builds atop of the mythology just a little bit, where you're going sorry about that, but you're going down to Hollow Earth, basically, in this film, is where this movie is set, and it's an interesting little setting where they have the opportunities to build off of some things they established in Godzilla vs. Kong, and to explore some ideas. It maybe does explore one too many ideas, but it's fun to see these characters, or these monsters, should I say, go down to Hollow Earth and discover this new empire, as it's in the title of the film. And so, just an interesting setting to be in. The action set pieces are gigantic, high body count, high destruction. All of that is present in this film. And so, if you know what you're going into when it comes to this film, you're probably going to have a good time with it. If you like the previous MonsterVerse films, especially Godzilla vs. Kong, you'll probably enjoy Godzilla x Kong. But for me, this is definitely not a perfect movie, and there are some issues here, so let's move on to the bad. And when it comes to the negatives of this film, I feel like this is one of those franchises that has never particularly learned their lesson. All 4 of the previous films have the problem with the human characters being thin as can be. Like, you don't care about the human characters. They are not fully developed at all whatsoever. This movie does not seem to learn that lesson. Still has pretty thin human characters. And in fact, of all these MonsterVerse films, this one might have the thinnest of the human characters. There's no emotion, no character arc, no nothing, just a fun hijinks that comes with following some of these people around, doing some ridiculous sequences with monsters and things like that. And I feel like every time they cut back to the humans, it kind of pulled me out a little bit. I was much more interested in these ridiculous sequences with Kong and a bunch of other monkeys and things like that. I was much more interested in those rather than I was in these human characters, and that seems to kind of be the problem with all of them. But with this one, I really felt it because it really just pulled me out a little bit in the film. Also, for its entertainment value, Like, I went to see this movie with my dad and my brother, and me and my brother had fun with it. My dad hated this movie. He said this was the dumbest thing ever, and not in a good way. He hated it. And so just know this movie's probably not going to be for everyone, and I think some of that is because it does rely on the CGI destruction and spectacle that comes with monsters fighting each other in this film for its entertainment. These ridiculous sequences where monsters are punching each other in the face, sometimes doing wrestling moves. It relies on that spectacle for its entertainment. And so you have to go in wanting some schlocky fun. This by no means is high cinema art. It is by no means going to be in my top 10 of the year by the end of it. But overall, this movie did deliver what I wanted from a new MonsterVerse film, which was fun, schlocky, ridiculous monster action. And so this is one of the more entertaining movies, I would say, in the MonsterVerse. It's not as good, I would say, as Godzilla vs. Kong, but I enjoyed this one quite a bit. So overall, I'll give it a B, because it's a schlocky B movie, of course. But those are just my thoughts. Down below in the comment section, share what you thought of Godzilla x Kong over on my channel. I have more content like this. Check those out right now. Click the like button and be sure to subscribe, because that really helps a lot. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end, and I will see you in the next one.